Hey everyone, man, that intro is equal parts glorious and ridiculous. Hey, welcome back to Saturday Morning Toy Tunes, the once again weekly live stream here on my channel in which we all gather around the modern day campfires of our iPhone screens and computer monitors and talk about things that happen in the weekend geek. At the top of the coming hour, if everything goes according to plan, I'm cluttered over here, unboxing and posing up my Obi-Wan Kenobi 6-scale figure, the Obi-Wan Kenobi Deluxe DX26, I think it's the 26. If it's not, all right, just deal with it. It's which I finally got. I don't think that I posed up Sideshow's copy of this in a previous live stream. I don't think so. If I did, apologies for the redundancy. But this is my own copy of this that I finally have in hand, and I'm very excited to do some cool stuff with it. I already have the DX28. I think that's it for the Darth Vader, the equivalent Darth Vader from the same show. And I'm going to break him down. He's on a detop shelf by himself right next to me here. I'm going to break him out and show them both together. In fact, I might actually do a complimentary pose of this Obi-Wan that will enable me to do, I don't know, photograph? If such is my thing. Yeah, finally going to return to photography. In addition, I'm going to probably early on, probably right after this introduction, I'm going to do a couple of just quick unboxings of things that are not 6-scale related. Well, I guess one of them is, kind of, because I plan on using it for things. No, this is not a 6-scale photography thing that I've got here. It is a photography thing, though, that I plan on using for a little bit next week. So, how's everybody doing? We'll get to the chats here in a little bit, but again, yeah, I don't even know how to begin with this one. It's just it's going to be kind of freeform here. But last week I did like a 15-minute soapbox thing, but this week I really don't have a lot to talk about. Maybe something will occur to me. Maybe I'll be prompted by something in the chats, and I'll talk about something that somebody else brings up. Last week I talked a lot about social media and why I've taken an indefinite break from social media on my phone. I still chime in about 5 to 10 minutes every morning just to see if Hot Toys has dropped anything and to see about what certain friends have been up to that I don't have any other way of staying in contact with. But apart from that, I'm done with social media. If you want more details on that, please go ahead and revisit the first 15 minutes of last week's live stream. I get pretty in depth with it, probably a little bit more than I needed to. And yeah, so periodically I'm going to be doing stuff like that from now on. There's a lot going on in the world. A lot that bothers me. A lot that's chasing people that I know and love, locally even. I have a couple that I hang out with here on a regular basis that is legitimately leaving the country. I'm moving to Ecuador, of all places. Because apparently for $40,000 you can buy yourself a citizenship there. I don't know. I'm legitimately looking into other countries. What's Namibia like this time of year? Cold desert climate? Seems like it's ideally suited for somebody like me. So, without further ado, I'm just going to break out this. I got a box in the mail. And, again, this is completely unrelated to 6-scale. If you're here for the 6-scale stuff, feel free to go ahead and skip this segment. But if you like things that smell good, this might be your jam. So, I'm going to break out the trusty rusty EDC Benchmade Nitrous Striker that I always carry with me, and that I have carried with me for, I want to say this is like a 15-year-old knife now. Yeah, it's been very handy, very solid construction. I've never had a knife this long. This is my second Benchmade. The first Benchmade was lost or stolen. I never could determine exactly what happened to it. Only that it's gone. It's a great knife shop just up the road, across the river in Cologne. So actually it's in Troy, past Collinsville, Illinois. God, what's it called? It'll come to me. But yeah, knife shop. Ooh, samples. I love samples. Actually, samples is what got me into spending this kind of money on this particular bottle of Cologne. It is the latent exclusive Eau de Parfum from Parfums de Marly in Paris. And it came as a sample with my bottle of V et Armis that I think I may have unboxed. No, I think I just showed it in a Facebook post a few months back. And the company that I bought it from, I can't remember its name. Big shock. Wait, let's go up to the comments here just in case anybody's trying to say, hey dude, I can't hear you. Anyway, so here it is, man. This is legitimately the most I've spent on a bottle of cologne in my life. It's that good. On the manufacturer's website, its retail price on the manufacturer's website for a bottle of this size, and I believe this is a 125 milliliter bottle. It doesn't say on the packaging, which seems like a missed opportunity. Yeah, 125 milliliters. $440. Yeah, I didn't pay that much. I found it at a gray market site for considerably less. Gray market sites are sites that will find, in this case, bottles of cologne from another country and buy them in bulk, and sell them for much cheaper than the legally imported versions. So yeah, let's check out the packaging on this. Let me go back to. There we go. Now I can see this. There we go. Okay, so look, the packaging on it is pretty glorious. Very sturdy construction. I'm loving that deep metallic cobalt blue. The way that it just kind of lightly reflects, right? It's nothing bold. It's nothing crazy like an Iron Man armor, so to speak. This is the only place where you can see a cologne unboxing and see and have the packaging compared to the armor of Iron Man. I'm convinced. I don't think there's any other channel on YouTube that will do that. So yeah, gorgeous logo. Love those two horses there. It's got a very like old world sort of a vibe to it. We can talk about notes and such. This is in French, but there's an English translation there at the bottom. The splendor of the 18th century through a prism of modern vision. That's great writing, man. That's great writing. Maybe I should explore a new career. Oh, there's a sample vial. Maybe we should give that away. Or maybe I'll just keep it for when I travel because this is too big to take on an airplane. So yeah, let's open it up. Oh my God, that packaging is glorious. That bottle is glorious. Jesus, it's huge. Maybe I should have gone with the smaller one. Well, won't be having to buy a new bottle of this anytime soon. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? I'm not going to wear any. I'm not going to spray any on because I've already put on some Viet Armas this morning and I don't really... I think that those two scents will blend. There is, they have similar notes. One of the notes is very similar. Yeah, don't we? Laura Keeley says, "Man, we need a smell-o-vision more than ever." Yeah, I put on cologne for you guys every morning, and you'll never know. My God, so many samples though. So that's exciting. Loving the chrome cap. Ow, man, that hurt. Another fun bit of updated information. I'm not sure I brought it up, but I injured while prepping the set in the studio for the evolution of Sideshow's first look. I was staining a big chunk of butcher block 2x4, and when I was flipping it over to stain the other side of it, I heard something snap in my elbow, like that. I did talk about this last week, but just bear with me. And I finally decided that it wasn't going to heal on its own, so I had to go to a doctor. I feel like that's too loud. So I went to a doctor. I saw an orthopedic surgeon, who, I don't know, I'm just going to say it, she was hot. I've been single too long. She referred me to a physical therapist. So I'm doing physical therapy for the next 6 weeks because this arm just cannot function fully. It's frustrating. It actually affects me a lot when I'm doing my job. Like putting heads onto 6-scale figures hurts a lot. Opening doors hurts a lot. Any twisting motion in this direction, like clockwise twisting motion in this direction, is just painful as hell. And so yeah, I'm working on getting that fixed. Anyway, so that's fun. The other thing that I got this week that I just picked up yesterday, and probably shouldn't, but I did anyway, because that's just how I roll. More glass. Pretty stoked. I've been eyeballing this lens for a really long time. It was 20% off on Nikon's website, and my local camera shop matches Nikon's price. I think pretty much any camera shop will. So I swung by on my way to my attorney's office to sign a petition for divorce and have it notarized. and picked one up. 14 to 24 millimeter. I'm tempted to pause this live stream, turn off the camera, and swap lenses just to show you how ridiculously wide this thing goes. It's fantastic. There's a box that contains various lens hoods and probably a bag just to keep it safer. There's a thought. I'm also eyeballing the Peter McKinnon 35-liter camera bag, which, check that thing out. Just go to YouTube, Google Peter McKinnon 35-liter camera bag, and yeah. Love this track. I should use it for an actual video at some point. It's much smaller than I remember. I actually borrowed one of these when I went up to I see Mike Sorensen from Bad Wolf Media is here. Mike, this is one of the lenses that this is the wide angle that I used when shooting Iron Maiden up in Chicago. Thank you again for that. But you can see that it has, obviously it has the standard focus ring, but it also has an aperture ring. And there's also a programmable ring right here that you can hook up to whatever you want. You can basically program it to control whatever function that you want, which is very handy. I haven't really explored that very much, but I can see why people would like it. Look at that awesome LED readout there, display, telling you what's going on. And we've got a programmable function button here, and a button that will turn the display on and off. Switch for manual to autofocus there on the side. I feel like I'm leaving something out, but let's just show off the glass there. Look at how seriously concave that is for that ultra wide 14 millimeter. I love you can see the little lens flares going on in the glass. That's fun. That'll show up on the sensor. I am a big fan of lens flares. Second only to J.J. Abrams, you might say. So we'll see. We'll see. It's actually so wide that there is a separate. Let's break this out here, see if I can find it. It comes with two different lens hoods. Actually, that's not true. It comes with this, which is a massive cover to protect it when you've installed the lens hood, which is here. And I'm going to get it as close as I can, so hopefully you can see, but you'll notice that, make sure I've got this on the right side, and I do. I don't know if you can notice with the light being the way that it is, but it is, let's move this over here. There we go. So right here, it's threaded on the inside of this lens hood, and that's because it's the system that they had to develop. Maybe this is something that happens with other lenses, but this is my first experience with a lens like this. So the lens filter, the filter system is built into the lens hood. So you can't add a filter to the lens itself because of the geometry of the lens. So you have to add it to the lens hood, which means that you need to buy a 112 millimeter filter, which is massive and ridiculously expensive. It's going to cost me like legitimately hundreds of dollars. I want to say $400 or $500 to get a filter for this thing, if I choose to go that route. But yeah, look at that. All of the. This is the this is the focal length ring. I think I said earlier that it's the aperture ring, but it's the focal length ring. And this is the focus ring, and this, of course, is the programmable ring. But everything's internal. All of the elements are internal, so it doesn't extend, which is something that always irritates me. I hate those lenses that visibly extend when you're zooming. Don't know why. There's no real reason for it. And then once I get that done, I can slide this over it, and I'm fully protected. I can't wait to get this outside and play with it. So I'm just going to end the stream here. Just kidding. let's put this over here someplace safe and throw that aside. Actually, just throw all this aside for now. Sample fragrances. That, I mean, I just love samples. That one's not for me. Can't tell what's going on with that one. Yeah, this one's very bright. But it's got a nice summertime sense to it. So, sense. Yeah. Ambiguous. And this one is so strong that they put it in a plastic packaging, I'm guessing. There's probably just something heavily aromatic about that. Let's find out. You'll just have to take my word for it. I am not prolific in ways of describing scents, but oh, vanity mirror. A fragrance.com vanity mirror. That makes no sense. Oh well, I guess that there are a lot of people out there who do colognes that probably also do makeup. I am not one of those people. If I ever become one of those people, maybe I'll consider running for president or vice president. Has there ever been a situation where any country, let alone the United States, has had both a president and vice president that are regular users of makeup? I have thoughts, but I'll keep them to myself. Anyway, so who's here? Let's talk. What's going on? I see that Steve Naro was out of the gate first. What's up, dude? From Virginia Beach, specifically. How are you doing? Keith Lee, all excited, ready to go. I'm assuming that you're on the treadmill. At least I hope that I drove you to the treadmill. God, this really hurts. Have I forgotten to do something for it? No. I haven't taken any pain meds. For pain for this elbow, I'm only doing NSAIDs. So it's but I'm taking Tylenol and Advil in quantities that are probably damaging my kidneys or stomach or liver or whatever. Hey, at least I'm not drinking. Okay, Terry Smith is here. That's good. That guy owes me money. Conan, what is best in life? I don't know about all that, Steve, but it's kind of you to say. Thank you. Although I will say, let's go back to that. I will say that I was thinking this morning as I was prepping for the shoot, specifically when I was dragging out the rear light here, like I missed this. I missed this. It was good to take a break, but I'm kind of glad to be back. Mike from Bad Wolf Media, I'm glad to get the heads up on the ties. Gives me time to focus. I'm glad we get the heads up on the ties. Gives me time to make my eyes focus on this small text again. On the ties. I don't know what that means. Oh, AJ Agrusa has rejoined the Poser Posse. Thanks, AJ. Welcome back. Yeah, I know that everybody, I think almost all of the Poser Posse members jumped ship after my prolonged absence, and I fully expected that. In fact, I was surprised last week before I joined when I checked the membership that how many I still had, how many people were still on board. And I'm guessing that those people were just either highly supportive or just are like other people who just don't pay attention to where their money goes every month. Hello, Terry and friends. Just wanted to stop in and say hi. We've got some wedding planning related tasks to take care of today, but I'll catch everyone on the replay. Well, congratulate. I'm assuming that it's your wedding. Now that I think about it, I had no idea if you were married or not married. I had no idea what your marital status is or was. So if it's you, congratulations. If it's somebody else, you have my sympathies. Weddings, man, are annoying. Let's abolish that tradition. Hey, AJ, have fun. Okay, cool. Barefoot on Bricks. Have I seen that one before? Maybe this is like one of those people who has changed his screen name since I last did a live stream. So regardless, Barefoot on Bricks, good to see you. Thanks. I'm glad you're super happy that I'm back, and I too enjoy the posing tutorials. And apparently I enjoy the chat because I do it a lot. I just chatter. You guys enjoy the chat, I enjoy the chatter. Sausage and eggs for Bitter Troll from Tennessee. Congratulations. I actually just bought some frozen vegan sausage from Trader Joe's. Hopefully it's not a gateway to get back into sausage. As an old school online RPG MMO gamer, when I ever see someone put LFG, I think first looking for group. I didn't even know that was a thing. Anytime Keith Lee says that, I know exactly what it means. Oh, look who's back. Desmond Hassing is here. He got here right at 9 a.m., which means that he was more timely than I. But good to see you back, Doctor. Yeah, I don't think you made it to last week's episode, and if you did, you weren't in the chats, as I recall. But it's good to have you here today. The score for Revenge of the Sith just ended. Nice, I like it. Marlon Braswell is here. What's up, dude? As is Universal Key and John Simonson. Good to see you. Oh, you're getting one too? Yeah, man, it's a great figure. Are they still shipping? I don't even know. It does, in fact, make it Revenge of the Smith. I'm going to use that for my little name tag down at the bottom one next time I do a Revenge of the Sith-based figure, if I ever indeed do one. Oh, I will. I will, because I have, in fact, ordered the Anakin Artisan Edition, so I'll be getting that and probably having that here on the show. Yay! Yeah, I don't know that people are really paying attention to how much damage is being done by them. Or done to them. Well, legitimately, there's been a lot of talk in various media about people are being tricked into voting against their best interests. And watching the apparent demise of Social Security, Medicare, the U.S. Postal Service, USAID, which is a great organization. The list goes on. It's like, these aren't good things, man. These are not good things. And if you're saying, if your reasoning is that ending all of these programs is a good thing because it saves tax dollars, well, that's just self-defeating. What it's doing is taking those tax dollars and making them available for just corporate welfare. You can bet that there are so many rich people out there that look at the money being spent on Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and all these social programs for that are designed and functioning to help the average citizen. And they're resenting it because they never need to use those programs because they literally have all the money in the world already. But rich people don't get rich by spending their own money. They get rich by spending other people's money. I said there wouldn't be a soapbox today. And what dismantling social programs does is it doesn't save tax dollars. It frees tax dollars up to be used by rich people to get grants to do other things, for corporations to get grants to do things that they want to do that they don't want to spend their own money on. Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to look that far back to see examples of that. So, yeah, I would think twice before celebrating the demise of social programs. I know that socialism has become a boogeyman sort of a word. Social programs and socialism are two entirely different things. Yeah, educate yourself and learn the difference because it is huge. Anyway, that's all I'll say about that. Good morning, folks. How's it going, Laura? Good to see you. How's the kitties? Willow specifically. The only cologne I wear is my trust bottle of Sex Panther. That's hilarious, dude. Isn't there a band called Sex Panther? There should be. Steel Panther. I'm thinking of Steel Panther. Thank you. I have one bottle of cologne that I continue to use that was given to me as a high school graduation gift. I won't say how long ago, but it measured in decades, not years. Yeah. Wow, you don't wear cologne much, bro. I've recently bought my third bottle of Nan Bam. Arquist. I think it's called. I don't know. I don't speak French. But that was first introduced to me by my soon-to-be ex-wife, who was... I was lamenting the loss of Gucci for Men. That lamentably canceled cologne by Gucci that was just... man. I had one friend who described it as seduction in a bottle. Such good shit. Yeah. And I have a few sprays of it left in a bottle that I'm just saving for, I don't know what. My first date with Natalie Portman? I should just use it and get it over with. Now I want to smell Terry more than ever. You should. I smell amazing. This makes for... I've got the Nan Bam, which is on the shelf now because it's a great winter cologne, but it's just way too heavy for summertime. This one will be my new like spring autumn kind of scent, along with the Viet Armis. And I'm still on the hunt for a because I recently used up the last of my matte male, the original, not the inferior sequel. So I need a new summer scent. The Layton exclusive might have to find its way into summer. God, this stuff is amazing. I just kind of want to like take a whole day and just lay around and sniff it. It's really, really good stuff. Better be, for the price tag. I promise the next time Terry and I are at a show at the same time, I'll give him a big sniff for all of you. We'll get that on we'll get a photo of that. It'll be right there with me, like rubbing you with my nutsack. Yeah, it's I didn't injure by posing, but again, I was hefting a massive piece of butcher block when it happened. And yeah, it hurts. I'll show off where the pain is. It happened here, right there. That's the painful spot. So where the tear took place was right there, but the pain. And there's notable swelling on this. Like even the, like both the doctor and the physical therapist were just like, oh yeah. But the pain extends all the way. It starts here and radiates a little bit up into this area of the bicep, but it really radiates all the way down the length of the forearm to the wrist, right about here. In fact, it almost feels like arterial pain. I don't know if you've ever like cut an artery or had an arterial line put in. But artery pain is very, very memorable if you've ever suffered from arterial pain in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, I think the worst pain I've ever experienced was when I was getting a PET scan and they had an arterial line where they were taking blood oxygen reads, and every time they were doing a blood oxygen read, they had to fiddle with a valve on that arterial line, and that needle moving around in my artery was just artery was excruciatingly painful. 14 millimeter, basically a fisheye. Yeah. But with several corrections that have been made so that you don't get all the barrel distortion that you expect in a fisheye. It's really amazing. Just go check out the Z14 to 24 millimeter on any, like, check out a like a YouTube video on it. And you'll see it's just a fantastic lens. I'm shocked that it's on sale, and I've put off buying it for this long since the sale started. It was on sale for a long time, then the sale ended like after December, and so it was off sale for a little while, and it recently went back on sale for the same price. And my concern is that they have something better coming along. Because last year I spent a bit of money on new glass. I've got a 50 millimeter f1.8. I got a 30. I've had the 35 millimeter f1.8 for a long time, and a couple of other lenses. And Nikon recently dropped the 35 millimeter f1.2, which bokeh for days on a 35 millimeter lens is of this. Yeah, it's amazing. It is so amazing. I can't wait to do some portraiture. I'm doing some portrait work for a buddy of mine who does custom pickups for his webpage, and that's probably where I'll break it out for the first time. Fun fact: he has the same lens, so I may not even need to bring mine. But that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. In fact, I've got to call him to schedule it right after this live stream. That would be a great lens for both toy and concert pit photos. Yeah, like I said, I used it for Iron Maiden. God, do I have a... I think I do. I think I can probably show off the Iron Maiden photo so I can show you what this lens is capable of. And I just have to find the... I've got a piece of something stuck in my rear tooth here, so if it looks like I'm making a weird face, it's because I'm trying to tongue it out from between my teeth. I may just have to give up and reach back there with my fingernail. Yummy. I think they're here. Let's just do a search. Oh, funny, oddly enough. Hey, there we go. This is a classic, man. This is a California show specific Iron Maiden shirt. You can see it's basically the Trooper Eddie instead of just marching into battle, he's riding the California Bear into battle while bearing the California flag instead of the Union flag. Yeah, this is from, God, what was it? What was the name of the tour? It was way back in like 2012, I think. Yeah, 2012 or 13. But yeah, really, really great show. Where was I? I was way back in the weeds. I was almost as far away. In fact, my best view, I was so far back on the lawn that my only real view of the show was on the Jumbotrons. And that's actually when I said, I'm never going to see Iron Maiden again unless I can see them from the front row. I lied. I went back and saw them at the, at the Forum in Inglewood. Same place where Ghost recorded their live show. And let's see, what was I doing here? Yeah. Present. I think I'm going to need to open these files first. So bear with me. There we go. Oh, there's both JPEGs and PSDs here, so I'm going to have to select each one individually. Which I know will annoy. The weight will annoy people. Because there are a few. There are a couple in here. So I'm not going to show them all. I really want to show off the one, though. In fact, I'm just going to look for the one I'm looking for. 2, 3, 4. Where is it? Where are you hiding? Okay, so here's one I want. And... I'm just gonna... This isn't with the... This other one that I'm selecting right now isn't with the fisheye, but it is... pretty cool, so I'm going to show it to you anyway. I'm legitimately looking for the one I shot of Steve Harris doing the machine gun pose. And it has to be further down. So how did I miss it? This is weird. Where did it go? It's legitimately one that I would not... There we go. So that one. That's zoom. That is zoom. That is zoom. Pretty much everything that I actually processed was shot with the zoom. The 70 to 200. Yeah, there was a nice gap of 24 millimeters to 70 millimeters in the in my arsenal. Oh, this is such a good one. I love this one of not Steve Harris. I recently went through all these images and the unused ones, and there we go. That's a good one too. All right, so that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Let's open those. Okay, cool. Present. And I'm going to share. Oh, come on. To share your window, allow screen recording for Chrome in system preferences. You'll then need to restart Chrome. So I'm just going to make sure there's no sensitive stuff on this screen. And the thing is that it may not actually show Yeah, same thing. Okay, well, that was an absolute waste of time. I don't know what changed. It used to be that when I was doing this stuff on, oh, you know what it is? Maybe it's because I didn't do a stream for so long. Okay, that's got to be it. All right, well, sorry, everyone. Wait. I guess I could pick. No, we're not doing it that way. I'll just show them off to you eventually. How lame. Anyway. Filters are overrated anyway. Yeah, you know, what I like, I don't use most filters. But I do use UV filters. And quite honestly, I just use them to protect the elements of the actual glass. Yeah, I don't really... Pretty much anything that you can do with a filter, you can do in Photoshop now. Except maybe polarization? I don't know. You could probably do that too. I can imagine an algorithm in which you can fake the effects of a circular polarizer. It would be a complex algorithm, but it would work. Do you really need a filter? Yeah, exactly. No, I don't. I have tended ones to bring the stop down, but never use them. You're talking about neutral density. Yeah, exactly. I don't need to use those at all. Yeah. Again, it can all be done in Photoshop. So unless your whole thing is that you want everything to be in camera, which frequently I do that. But I'm not when my abilities to do something in camera fail, I'm not at all opposed to doing something in Photoshop. My God, I got it sniffly. A little cocaine mirror. I knew I'd find a use for it. Thank you. No. More of an Adderall guy, and that's prescription. But I stopped taking it. It was affecting me negatively on so many levels. I've dropped in solar filter from a 300 so I can get shots of the sun. That would be useful. That would be very useful. I don't care if a dude wears makeup. A little eyeliner can make guys just pop. Dude, when I first saw, I don't remember the name of the video, but it was the video. It was the live concert video of Ozzy Osbourne. Not from the Bark at the Moon tour, from the one after that. And I remember watching that video with my buddy Zach, and immediately after we were so in awe of Ozzy Osbourne that we immediately raided my mom's eyeliner and put on eyeliner. So yeah, I was 15 years old, 16 years old, something like that when I first wore eyeliner, and it was fun. I never wore it out of the house, but it was fun to play. Yeah, I get that. There's a certain level of that you expect for TV appearances. That's just normal. I don't care who you are. If I went on 60 minutes for an interview today, I would spend I don't know how much time in a makeup chair prepping. But I think this is the first time that we've had a president and vice president who apply makeup to themselves on the daily. Ashley Brenzo's here. What's up, girl? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to have you back. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for, clarifying. That is that states will take care of education. Well, expect your taxes to go up or a steep decline in education. That will vary from state to state. Yes, it's true. And those states that are already suffering in terms of their quality of education will suffer even more because of it. And that's calculated. My mom was an educator and her best friends were educators. So I was in the company of educators frequently. And I remember specifically a conversation that I was having with them in like 1995, somewhere about there. I was in college at the time. And the only obvious reason that I could think of for, even back then, cutting funding to education was a thing, an ongoing thing. And I remember distinctly thinking that, well, yeah, of course they're going to want to cut funding to education because an uneducated populace is easier to manipulate because they haven't. A quality education system won't just teach from the text. They won't just teach you facts. They won't just prep you for the test. They'll teach you how to, and they won't tell you how to think. They won't tell you what to think, but they'll show you how to think. That is how to use your brain in a critical manner. And people who use their brains in that fashion, those are the great ones who have come up with new ideas, who've spearheaded progress, who've been on the vanguard of every major scientific advancement ever. But those same people, if you create enough of those people, then they start to actually understand how social and government systems function, and they start to recognize that when they're being fooled, that's dangerous for a politician, for certain politicians. And yeah, so it does them no end of good to do damage to the public education system, to the extent that only the children of rich people will be able to afford a quality education. And that way you're keeping everything in the family. All the good jobs will go to the children of rich people, period. All the good education will go to children of rich people. And that's, I don't care where you're at on the political divide, that's not good. Hello, BDP. The notorious BDP is in the house. It's time for everybody to say hello to him. Yeah. Oh, dude, Dobby gets pissed. He's like, what's happening? I don't understand. I am unaware of Creed Aventus, but I will investigate it. Giorgio Armani Profundo is a great light scent for the warmer days. Okay, that's a hot tip. I'm going to screen cap that. And walk into my local Sephora and see if they have it. Not specific. I'm not going to take a special trip to Sephora. I don't do that. But when I'm in the mall or shopping for jeans at Kohl's, because yes, I'll spend a lot of money on action figures, but I'm cheap as hell when it comes to my jeans. This thing, I don't care how much money you spend on jeans. Those things rip out way too quickly for me. Did you pop the tenon in the elbow? I've had that happen while using a computer mouse. No kidding. If that's the case, ask him about getting a Band-Aid compression band. Okay, Bandit compression band. Yeah, I've looked into things like that online. It's hurting me just sitting here. It's worse in the morning because what happens is I sleep with my arm curled up and everything contracts in the middle of the night. So my first motion of the arm is excruciating. I have a Fortnite Canon coming today for Trooper Eddie photos. That's fun. That was it. Return the Made in England tour. That's right. Yeah, because they were redoing their greatest tours, right? Because they did, I think that Flight 666, was that the one where they redid the Live After Death tour? I feel like it was. I could be wrong. Get out. Really? Do you have the capacity to send me a link? Because I will buy a $70 keychain made from a part of Ed Force One. I won't even hesitate. You send me that link. If you send me that link right now, I may buy it before the end of the live stream. That's fantastic. Oh, thank you for the praise for the photos, Mike. That's yeah. My buddy, a friend of mine. I'm not going to name names, but I've got a friend who's the head of security at the pageant, and I was walking down the sidewalk on Delmar with some friends, and I saw him out front managing the line, and stopped to talk to him, and he brought that up. He was like, "Yeah, man, those photos of Iron Maiden. I was showing them to my friend." Blah blah blah. So yeah, I'm just bragging about somebody raving about my stuff. But anyway, I freaking love Iron Maiden. I used to play bass in a metal band in my early 20s. So did I. Adrian Smith and Steve Harris were some of my heroes. Yeah, good choices. Yeah, I want to say that, like, concert-wise, my first concert was, I don't know, pretty sure my first concert with my mom and her friends was Neil Diamond, which is cool now, and was cool then because I'd never been to a concert. And my second show, I might have these flipped, but I think my second show, right around the same time, was Olivia Newton-John on the physical tour. Yeah, which was great. I had such a crush on her. And then I saw Journey with Glass Tiger. That was the first concert I went to with just me and a friend. And the very next one was Iron Maiden, and I never looked back. I was a metalhead for life from there. I wish I could remember who opened for them on that tour. I'm sure that I could research it, but it was the Somewhere in Time tour. God, so good. Oh, that's funny. Nice one. Ha ha ha. Okay, it's a sensitive subject for some people, but I'll just come out and say it. I don't have porn on my computer. I don't. Even if I were so inclined to keep porn on my computer, I'm the type that is way too paranoid about keeping anything damning on my computer. I just feel like there is no such thing as a secure system, and I just don't want that. I don't want to be attached to that, to anything like incriminating. So anything incriminating, you will never find on my computer. Period. If there's anything incriminating on my computer, I didn't put it there. No way. That's just dumb. Maybe, I don't know, maybe hide it on a memory card or something if you need to have something like that. I don't know. But yeah, never on a computer. Never on a phone. Nothing secure. 1/6 porn. God, it's only a matter of time. It's probably out there. It's probably out there. I remember, I can't remember if I was looking for pose ideas for Ahsoka Tano or for Aayla Secura. But while looking for photos of those characters, I came across anime porn, not anime, but manga style porn of Aayla and Ahsoka. Leave that to your imagination. I was scarred for life. Well, I was scarred for a long time. I think I'm over it now. That was way back. I was at my studio in Sideshow when I saw that. They see that the uneducated voted them in. They want to keep this country dumb as hell to control the population. Well, yeah. Again, I don't want to turn this into a political live stream, but, and I know I was the one that started it, but I was lucky enough to have 2 teachers for 8th and 12th grade history. Yeah. Yeah, I had one of those in junior high. And I don't think I had anybody comparable in high school. Yeah, my political and my understanding of the world shifted a lot once I got into college. And late, like the second time I went back to college, it really shifted. It's funny when you start traveling and when you go to school and you start meeting people from other demographics, other cultures, other parts of the world, how your perception of other people changes. And like both my father and my grandfather were terribly racist. And so was I for a while. And it took getting a job where I was working with people from other demographics for me to make that shift. And it took time. And it was a hard realization to make, to have to admit, oh my God, my grandfather's a racist, my dad is a racist, and through being raised by them, I have developed certain racist tendencies. And it only came from many years of experience and living and travel and education that the shift, a seismic shift, occurred. And now I'm the opposite of that. To the extent that I remember, I think it was 1992. Yeah, it was 92 or 93, somewhere in there. I went with a bunch of people to protest a KKK rally that was happening over in Illinois. And to my shock, while I was there, all the cars in the parking lot for the rally, I saw my cousin's car. Ugh, I was so disgusted. Anyway, yeah, that's been ages ago. Flight 666. So I guess I'm not surprised. I mean, that plane's probably barely serviceable. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Oh no, really? I guess I shouldn't be surprised at that either. I mean, Is there a band, a metal band especially, that has more fans than Iron Maiden? I mean, speaking of Flight 666, did you see the video? In South America alone, it was insane. It's like every show, each show that they went to, like every subsequent show had a much larger audience than the one prior to it. Especially in like Chile, where they were banned since the 80s. It was their first time back in Chile, I think it was, since the 80s. Was that Chile or was it Argentina? Either way, it was amazing. Just mad people, just like people that couldn't get into the show were just like packing the parking lot just to hear them. I think that legitimately there were actually 1/6 scale Feishan style bodies that at one point in time had a disclaimer in the instructions that said this is not a sex toy. Guy Klender told me that, and so it must be true. Hey, Guy. And actually, I think that there are new rules in China that you cannot make 6 scale figures anatomically correct anymore. That's a thing that you're not allowed to do over there anymore. Thanks, dude. I mean, some of my best friends that I have now, if I held on to those beliefs, I wouldn't have. And so, yeah, I don't want to. I'm not going to drop names or anything, but yeah, it's. I almost said the P word. Racists are weak. They're chicken shit. I mean, I'll just come out and say it. I mean, if you and they're ignorant, chicken shit, weak asses, and that's my final word on that. Jawbron 2 is here. What's up, Lane? Hi, Terry. Hope you're doing well. I hope you like this Obi-Wan. I do like this Obi-Wan. I feel like I left Sideshows on the shelf long after I finished the first look for it. So, yeah, very, very cool figure. And yeah, like you, I enjoy General Kenobi a little bit more, I think, but we'll see. Once I get this one out of the box and start posing it up, which needs to be presently, then I may change my mind on that. Oh, is that right? Wow, see, it's remarkable to me. I mean, I've been to a lot of funerals. The older you get, the more you go to, right? But I've been to a lot of funerals, and it's remarkable how many people find it difficult to be classy at a funeral. There's just so much trashy stuff that happens at funerals, and I just can't get over it. There's a time and a place. Actually, there is no time and no place for that kind of behavior. But on the long list of places where that's not the time or the place, funerals is probably still at the top. $12,000. Wow. You know, I can't help but think that there have to be bots involved. Like somebody's really stocked up on those pieces. We're going to find them on eBay for much more than they went for. Yeah, he definitely is. Yeah. So hyperkinetic. Talking to that guy is like... Guy's brain is hard to keep up with sometimes. He just keeps going and going and going. There are some amazing customs out there, but if there are some that for sure, I think I know what you're talking about. And yeah, Patrice, excuse me. Glad to see you back. Thank you for saying so. Yeah, good to be back. Oh no, someone who's slightly different than me. No time for racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic. Yes, exactly. I already have to work with them. I don't want to deal with them more than that. Yeah. Yeah. I remember when I worked at a bar, nightclub, for years. I worked on the outside. I wasn't on the inside, so I didn't have to deal with a lot of these people. But the security guards were almost all police officers working, local police officers working in secondary, and that was an education. Because those guys, almost to a man, were racist as hell. and so was management and in that joint. It was so I was working there at the same time that I was transitioning, that I was dealing with my own latent inherited racism, and so that, I think that probably helped, just to witness firsthand how ugly it was, or how ugly it could get. It was illuminating. Nice. That's been happening to me more and more as I get old. The number of people that I'm able to tolerate on a long term has become challenging. Yeah. I'm finding that it really, really interferes with my options dating. I guarantee that if and when I ever go on my first date, it will probably be the only date. I don't know. I'm not tolerant anymore of the idea of having somebody in my life on the daily. Yeah. Although I probably should have other people in my life more often than I do. I legitimately go days without seeing or talking to anybody. Maybe that's why I miss this so much. It occurs to me, know that perhaps without my father to keep her in check, she was free to cut loose. There you go. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. What's this? Exceptionally important toy music news. Did you hear the new version of Cold Slither that came out this week? No. I did not. More on that later, huh? Yeah, man. Do love a good physical therapist. I can't wait to see mine again. Unfortunately, it's gonna have to wait. Mitchell, you're a black Brit? Yeah, what? What's that like? Yeah, I can't even. Okay. But I've never been racist. Grew up in London around other nationalities and races. See, there you go. I mean, if you expose yourself to other cultures, races, nationalities, what have you, then yeah, it will definitely soften or enlighten you in such a way that you'll understand that those irrational fears that lead to the hate that is racism are unfounded. Last comment before we move on to unboxing. Yeah, 2 minutes till the top of the hour. Hasbro is pushing Cold Slither 4-figure SDCC set coming, and they're releasing a 10-track album from that label that includes Meshuggah. Oh, wow. Meshuggah. Never really knew how to pronounce that. That's rad. Ah, God. This sucks, guys. It sucks a lot. It slowed down my workflow at a time when my workflow really needs to be speeding up. Yeah, fortunately, so far, Sideshow's been, oh, crap. That's annoying. What just happened there, what you just heard was the sound of first the boom coming off of the mic boom coming off of the mount on the desk, and then the second sound you heard was the mount crashing to the floor. So that's something that's going to take some time to fix. And I'm trying to figure out if it's worth continuing the stream. It would take like probably 2 minutes, but it's a lot of dead air. Because I don't even know where the damn thing rolled to. Let's think. I'm trying to decide if I have another option. No. That won't work. So I guess I'm just going to have to dig back there. Okay. Sorry for any bumping noises. It's always an adventure, man. I'm going to go ahead and raise this desk so that I can get under there a little bit easier. Hopefully nothing comes unplugged because I've raised it too high. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's go down there. I'm going downtown. Try not to get excited. Oh, there it is. That was easy. over time, these things have a tendency to loosen up, so I think that was part of the problem. And of course, there's twisting involved. And as I said, the thing that hurts the most with this injury is twisting. So if I start to cry, there we go. That wasn't so bad. There it is. All right. Is that it? There we go. Wow, what a mess. All right, so I'm just gonna have to not move the microphone because the key is not all the way into the keyhole on that one. And if it collapses, it collapses. I'm rising up from below. Let's see, reorientate the monitor. And let's, yeah, let's, all right, I want to see these comments from what just happened. Yeah, I think you showed me that image, right? Of course, obviously. Fix it, I'm still on the treadmill, okay. That's fun. Whoops is right. I do have some duct tape, but it's in the garage, and I'm not going out there right now. Wow, we got G.I. Joe talk happening here. Super 7 is putting the Zartan out, and probably have more later. Classified series from Hasbro is doing the full band with instruments for SDCC. All right. Who wants to bet that Terry finds a bunch of missing 1/6 parts while he's down there? Well, you set yourself up for some commentary there, my friend. I'm surprised you haven't taken full advantage of that yet. And I actually recently had cause to, when I was setting up all this new computer gear, I had to get back there. I took advantage of the opportunity and went back there and cleaned everything out. And you're right, I did find a bunch of 1/6 parts. What did I find? Are they still here? Yeah, there's a and this is a Sith holocron that comes with a Maul figure. I don't even know which one. The Clone Wars one? Probably? It would kind of have to be the Clone Wars one, right? I found a 6-scale Iron Patriot head back there. Will it focus? Yeah, there we go. And yes, all of my loose 6-scale parts wind up eventually in little tiny baggies like that. And it will tell you something. Oh, awesome. Zip ties. I need these. That I'm almost out of those little tiny plastic bags. I've really got to go down there and organize. Are they doing a Jungle Hunter Predator again? That's from the first film, right? It has been a long time since they released the one from Predators. And I'd welcome that. It'd be interesting to see what the technology has allowed them to do that's new. Okay, I had to double check to see which one I had up here, but it's the Scar Predator from Alien vs. Predator. Guilty pleasure, that show. Guilty pleasure. Look, it's a box. Hello, Tare. Yeah, so what we got here, obviously, this is the unboxing portion of the show, is a box that has a cigar band that is loose, but it should be, I want to say that it should be right about there so that you can see the DX packaging. I think that that's what the design is. Move that around. Maybe a little bit higher. But this one, for whatever reason, likes to plummet to the earth. Or the wood. And but yeah, it's got a great. Obviously, you can hit that famous Obi-Wan Kenobi on guard pose, and pencil boxes, eh? I'm sharing this comment because this is something that other people can probably find useful. That's actually not a bad call. I've actually considered just getting myself a new Husky toolbox with fuck. That hurts. 26. Wow, viewers. A little higher, just a little higher. Seriously? You think it needs to be higher? I think this is where it usually sits. Yeah, because I'm usually closer. Okay, I will look into that. Sideshow is doing... No, I've same answer for every time I get asked that question. I find out when things are shipping the same time everybody else does, and it's usually when I get the shipping notice. Yeah, Sideshow's pretty big, and my department is pretty small. And in the world of Sideshow, physically, the multimedia department is isolated. It's like in its own building, its own little building. So yeah, I mean, so it's very rare that even if I'd been there, even if I worked there, I would probably never really know what was going on. What was the Laura Keeley's minute? Oh, higher, just a little higher. Nice. Okay, so what we have here is basically what looks like a standard issue Star Wars box from Hot Toys, but because it's DX, that's all a facade. And removing it will show off this gorgeous DX style packaging. Let's just go ahead and... Not bad. Yeah, so you've got... Oh my god, there's so much going on. Like, legitimately... I'm trying to see if these are... Okay, I think these are all actual photos of the characters themselves from the show. But you've got the Grand Inquisitor, you've got Reva, you've got the whatever sister and whatever brother. I think fifth brother, second brother. I don't know, whatever brother that is. So and of course you got Darth Vader, which I think that's actually a Hot Toys figure of Darth Vader up at the top. This is really hurting my arm. I may have to cut this short because I have to get better. He giveth and he taketh away. I used that phrase on my physical therapist yesterday, and she thought it was freaking hilarious. Anyway. Yeah, but anyway, oh yeah, back to Big Dog Pound really quick. Yeah, sorry for that. I wish that I could illuminate you a little bit more than a little bit at least, but I honestly never get word. The closest that I get is that is when Sideshow sends me a figure to do a first look for that actually arrives before it drops. That's the only time that I'll know, and that's only telling me when it's shipping from Hot Toys. Because after something ships from Hot Toys, it gets put on a boat that day or the next day, or the day after that even, I don't even know. And then it has to endure weeks of weeks long ocean voyage from China all the way over to, from Hong Kong, I guess, all the way over to Los Angeles, the port of Los Angeles, where it frequently has to sit on the water at anchor, waiting for a berth to open up. And that can take another week, 2 weeks, whatever. And then it gets put in the berth and offloaded, and that takes a while. Once it gets offloaded, they have to wait their turn. The shipping containers to Sideshow have to wait their turn to be picked up by a truck. So they have to wait for an available truck. And then they have to suffer the indignity of LA traffic going all the way up to Sideshow, which probably takes the better part of half a day. Once they're there, the Sideshow crews work diligently to unpack that whole container and get everything moved inside and then organized and put into bins in the warehouse. And from there, they start pulling product. They start picking product from those pallets that they've uploaded into those warehouse bins and then sending them on to us. I'm not revealing any secrets. This is pretty much how every business that has stuff shipped to them from China does things. So, yeah, I understand that, dude. Biscard Kid is here. What's up, dude? Welcome. All right, so yeah, glorious, glorious packaging for the DX26. By the way, what do you guys think of that whole interruption that I just did really tugged at the back of my brain because obviously it was a tangent that I went off on. But one of the things that I've been considering doing is going back into these videos after they're completed, downloading the video and going back and editing out certain parts, like maybe doing an edited version of this unboxing / posing segment of the stream and having it exist as an isolated video. So people don't have to suffer the indignity of having to wade through the content of a 2-hour-long video just to get to the unboxing portion. Or to get to, if I start doing 3 strikes again, you know, I can do that as a short. Or if I ever go off on a tangent about something, I don't know, politically related or social related or whatever, then I can do that separately. So let me know what you guys think. Would that be something you'd be into? Watching a isolated edit of certain areas of each live stream? Because that's something I'd be willing to do while I'm just chilling out on my sofa. And I got a laptop now. Might as well like take it and go to a coffee shop, do a little bit of work. Anyway, so these DX packages exist in a what do you call this? It's a bookcase design, right? So you slide that off, and then you've got even more artwork to look at. Again, Obi-Wan, battle ready this time, but with the awesome DX28 Darth Vader showing the face of Anakin Skywalker, which is just super, super cool. Now, one of the things that I really like about DX packaging is that you can open it up vertically and not have to worry about everything falling out because it's in this sturdy... I'll just go ahead and take this out right now. Oh, as soon as I say that. Yeah, it's in this sturdy foam packaging. So it just kind of hangs out there. It's not going to go anywhere. And again, I know I promised at some point that I would start taking off the plastic before unboxing the figures, quote unquote unboxing. But is it still a true unboxing if you open it up, remove the plastic, close it back up, and then unbox it? I mean, how important is it to everybody to have to suffer through the plastic? Do you need to know how much plastic comes on a figure? Is that helpful? Talk to me in the comments about that, or in the chat if such is your way. If you're here right now, might as well. So let me just go ahead and... God, this table's too tall. So what we've got, I'm just going to go and pull this plastic off of Kenobi's head. It's on there super... No, it's not on there super tight. There is, in fact, locks of hair that have hooked into the plastic. That's annoying. I'm going to pull it back down. How am I going to fix this? I'm going to pull it back down. I'm going to rotate that plastic. And then try again. Poof, just like that. So you've got, wrapped around his face, a bit of plastic. Now this is something that I'm going to just go ahead and show you guys because I've run into issues with this when shooting first look videos, in which I've had to go back and reshoot entire segments of first look videos because of stuff like this. Can you see it? Let's see, there we go. There we go. Yeah, we can see it, Terry, if you'd sit the frick still. Little tiny bits of foam put in there to protect elements of the individual strands of hair. We're going to flip it around. Yeah, there's another one over here. Right there. And it's easy to spot on a figure like Kenobi because he's got these golden locks, these metallic light brown hair bits. But on a character like, oh, I don't know, John Wick. Can't tell that's ingrained in my head, can you? But in a character like John Wick, where the hair is black, it's easy to miss. Oh, look, I totally missed it even on this one. But you probably saw it in the video. There's some right there, right in the middle, protecting those little tiny wispy strands of hair. And I frequently miss those and have to go back. Now I'm lucky. Oh my God, there's another one. I need tweezers. Do I have any up here? I've recently moved a bunch of crap. There we go. I had to correct myself there because I was moving in to do this with these tweezers, which are pointy. and not exactly the safety tweezers. And then I realized that I was coming at it from the front. I was dangerously close to the paint on the face. So yeah, I'm opting to come back and get this thing from behind. Shut up, Keith. Excuse me. But there's another one. Let's see. Come on, get out of the way. I hate doing things backwards, obviously. There's another one right there. Man. I mean, I get it. And it's not as important when I'm doing my own figure. But when I'm doing it for work, and it costs me time because I have to go back and reshoot, this is going to hurt me. The only way that I can change hands, heads, whatever right now is by flexing my arm all the way up and locking it into place and use only the right arm to reapply in this case, because I had to take the plastic off the neck. This will be a challenge. I feel like a lot of people don't like this new style neck joint that's going into these figures to accommodate the posable eyeball feature. I love it. I've learned to love it. It was frustrating. There was a bit of a learning curve. That being said, sometimes they don't come out of the head. The neck joint will remain locked in place on the head. And I've found various ways to get it out. Normally they involve prying. Oh, this is gonna hurt me a lot. Ugh. I don't want to do that too many more times in this show. But I'll have to do it at least once because I do plan on playing with the eyeballs. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I don't know. I really kind of dig the new, because when they work really well. You just have to get them properly aligned, and once you've learned the tricks, I think it wasn't BDP, it was me and oh, who was it? It wasn't Bitter Troll. Best Guard Kid, it was you, right? Yeah, we talked about the whole leaning thing. You've got to make sure that the head is tilted forward instead of back, and then slowly adjust it until those two little things are aligned. The two little keys are aligned. Wow, we've had a lot of comments since I started this. How long is... Wow, 20 minutes in. I guess that makes sense. Simply tidy, huh? Actually, that Bad Wolf, that puts me in mind. Are you requesting Simple Minds? Probably not your jam. I didn't put a request in, and I think that somebody else has got it. But I am shooting Daryl Hall. So if you're going to be there for that, we can connect in the front row. Oh, wait. Yeah, not approved yet, right? Yeah, that hasn't been approved yet. God, it's swollen big time. I can actually feel the heat. Yeah, this may be something that I have to... I might have to put the other things on... I might have to put these live streams on hold again until my injury subsides. All right, so that's the figure out of the box. Oh, look. Instructions. I'm going to leave those right there because I've given up that tired old joke about not using instructions, because of course I use instructions. All right, so that's the figure out of the box, and now you've got all this goodness. That there on the right of your screen is a bunch of rocks, and on the left of the screen, obviously, you'll see all the other things. What am I seeing here? I've got obviously some acrylic support stands for said rocks. There is a Lola. We got Lola. Good luck getting that sun out of your head now. And we've got some Jedi binoculars that look very much like these right here. That's an emoji waiting to happen. Oh, there's a good question. Since I've lost a bunch of memberships in my hiatus, I wonder, are those emojis still available? Because I know that you had to get to a certain point in memberships to make those emojis available. Since we dropped below that point, have they suddenly stopped being available for use? Okay, let's open this stuff. You know, the funny thing is I actually joined a gym right before this injury, and now I can't. It's like another one of the motions that I can't do is push-ups, or bench presses or anything like that. But there's going to be a whole lot of rehab involved, so maybe I'll just use the gym as my go-to place for rehab. Rocks, just rocks. Oh man, that actually looks pretty good. There we go. Let's get the hole out of the way. But yeah, the paint apps on these are actually pretty solid. There's nice contrast, a whole lot of depth, and the edges are really pretty crisp. I had forgotten that. I legitimately thought that the rocks were going to be soft. The edges on them and their shape was just going to be soft from the wow, that one's even better. It's darker. Look at that. That's great. Yeah, I was not planning on displaying this thing with the rocks, but perhaps I will. Yeah, there's the third. I think that's all, right? It's the Rocky base, the Rocky display stand. Anyway, moving along with the comments. Chevelle's here. What's up, dude? My, the allergies are really hitting me hard. I can feel my throat starting to itch. You know, I've unboxed so many Hot Toys in this house that I feel like my house permanently smells like a 6-scale unboxing. Hey, look who's back! I wondered if you'd make it today. What a pleasure to see you again. Yeah, you too, my friend. Always faithful, Michael. Yeah, I may be out your way sometime in the near future. Yeah, once that divorce is finalized, I have legitimately 3 weeks of vacation saved up. So I might do a little jaunt across the pond and see some places and meet some friends that I've never met. And, yeah, yeah. Travel can be an excellent consolation prize when after a divorce. Interesting. It's still in the box if you're playing. Okay, cool. That's I like the push. Yes, it is very much like the Operation game. I felt that way. I don't know if I've ever said it out loud, but yeah. Nice. That's really all you need. And again, I try to just use my fingers. I don't really use the tool. But I think with this one, it looks like I'll have to for at least the purposes of the show. Close one. Friday is when I'm also hanging out with... Oh, yeah, that's fun. Everybody's breaking out those things. That's good to know. Scooped a bunch of rocks from there. Yeah, and then just drilled holes in them. There, so many of the photos that I did for Sideshow, I would just walk across the street to an open field and find a suitable rock and bring it inside. To the extent that when I left Sideshow's photo department, I left a bunch of rocks behind. Okay, back to work. Oh, fuck. I'm in trouble. All right, let's get these rocks out of the way. Don't take it personally, rocks. You're fine. All right. So, at last, we're getting to the accessories. I'm not going to use the light up feature. I think. What time is it? Probably not. It's just... It's something I can add to it later, and I don't think it adds a lot to the video, to the unboxing. Could be wrong. I don't know. You tell me. I'm jaded. I'm a jaded old fart. I was just recently given the opportunity to remember how long ago it was that I started collecting 6-scale stuff. And I'm coming up on 20 years as a 6-scale figure collector, if you can believe it. I think next year. I could be wrong. I'd have to do my research and figure out when the figure in question dropped. And the figure in question is the original, and not only, they did another version of it much later. The original Sideshow Jedi Luke was one of the first ones that I got. Not the first though, because the first one that I got was either a Jedi or a clone. And I guess Luke is a Jedi, but let's get you over here. So I'd have to do the math on that. Boy, that's oh, this is gonna hurt. All right. Here we go. All right, let me see here. I'm gonna do the lights. I'm gonna do the lights. Said I wouldn't. I lied. I'm gonna need you, I'm gonna need you. Do I use... No. So, for lighting the figure, danger, Will Robinson. For lighting the figure, obviously there is a battery box, and if you've seen any of the unboxings for this, I'm sure that they showcase that. There is a power box, power pack, into which you can plug 2 lightsaber hilts, and at the bottom of which there is a... There we go. Come on. There is a USB-C port for plugging it in and doing your thing. And you have the option of using this little guy to attach him to the display stand, or this little guy for attaching him to Obi-Wan's belt. Not all Hot Toys figures include both of those options, but most do. I think I've run into 1, maybe 2, that didn't have the belt version. I may need this... I may need that slick little tool that I just dropped onto the floor and that rolled to God knows where for removing the eyeballs. These, there are 3 of these little armatures for attaching the rocks. So I'm going to put those with the rocks right here for when I bring those into play. Of course, you have your waist grabber support. I used to think that they were all the same until recently when I tried using a waist grabber support from the Thor figure from Love and Thunder to display another figure that had, as it turns out, a narrower diameter to its dynamic support stand. For this pose, I'm going to use a static lightsaber blade, if only because I have yet to meet the figure that can support a motion lightsaber blade in the long term. It's not Hot Toys' fault. When you're doing... Is that a blemish? No, okay. When you're making something that's plastic, from this particular kind of plastic, which is probably the best plastic for creating this particular look, it's going to be heavy. There's no way to hollow it out without ruining the look of the lightsaber blade. You just have to deal with it. As to, you know, somebody may actually be out there and say, well, they can make the wrist pegs tighter. Yeah, I've dealt with wrist pegs that were too tight. It's just as much of a pain in the ass as wrist pegs that are too loose, but for different reasons. Also, the thing about wrist pegs that are too tight, the friction that they create when you're manipulating them increases the amount of wear on the actual plastic. And over time, meaning to say that over time, any wrist peg, when manipulated frequently, is going to wear down and become loose. So, put that in your pipe and smoke it. No need for it, but this is a pretty cool hologram for the holo emitter of Bail Organa. Yes, it looks like a gummy bear. Yeah, these are the... So one of these is not to scale. And I don't know which. Let me just... But I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it's probably these. Because for whatever reason, when Hasbro makes these things, they make them really... They make toys bigger than the actual props. Huh. That's fun. Okay. What? What, Terry? Show us what's fun. Oh, that's a cool blaster. As usual, my favorite thing to do when I'm showcasing blaster pistols is to try to determine what the base gun is. And for the life of me, I have no idea what this used to be before they made it. So it's possible that this was entirely constructed from the ground up. But I don't recognize... Is that... Oh my god. I'd have to break mine out just to compare it, but the grip of that gun actually reminds me of a 1911 Colt. It does. If so, that's where the similarity ends. Nowhere else does it look like an old 1911. And I have one lurking about. So, multiple hands. Gonna do this. Yeah? I have two options that I'm thinking of for this. So I'm going to break out both left and right saber gripping hands. There we go. Yeah, there's a pistol grip, and I actually thought I was actually thinking, did they didn't actually make a cut and just expect us to use a pistol grip hand as the right lightsaber gripping hand, did they? Because that would be silly. It's been done before by a company that will remain unnamed, if only because I want to remain employed. I think that was them. Anyway, in case I'm reserving the right to change my mind, I am going to go ahead and break out the Obi-Wan peace sign and have that at the ready. Here is the powered Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber hilt. I'm going to bring that in. And that is everything. I mean, it's legitimately almost everything. I've broken out every piece that I intend to use. Let's put the pistol back in there, because I don't think I'm going to have a use for that. I'm pretty sure he didn't have a gun on him when he was fighting Vader. Alright. I want to put this someplace where I don't accidentally kick it and send the figures everywhere, so... And by figures, I do mean accessories. Just making sure there's nothing else I can put back. Ah. That's good. That's good. All set. Lock it down. Behind schedule. How's the music level? Could it go up? Down? Any? Yeah. Hey, look who's here! What's up, Anthony? Figure posing channel. I have not visited your channel in a long time. I don't know. Are you still doing stuff on the regular? If not, if so, I apologize that I've missed it, but I've been missing everybody's everything. Like, legitimately, the only channels that I watch now are Professor of Rock and Star Talk. I think. Can't think of anybody else. One of the rocks went down below, so I'm gonna go excavate. Found you! Okay. So. My Vader is posed up like he's just getting up after being struck down by Obi-Wan. So, oh, okay. The larger macro binoculars, You can't hear while working. Okay, so I guess I'm going to have to comment. They came from Galaxy's Edge. I think. Yeah, they were a Galaxy's Edge exclusive. I got mine off of eBay because they came out after my last trip to Galaxy's Edge. They also came with a life-size hollow emitter, which also included a couple, maybe 3 different holograms. I think there's one of Yoda. There's one of General Grievous. Do I have it out here? I feel like I brought it out here. There's so much plastic lying all over the place. Oh, it also came with this. A Gillette women's razor. Oh, sorry, it's a Jedi communicator. Anyway, all of these things are on tap to be yeah, I can't spot it. All of these things, all those toys are on tap to be weathered and properly painted by me because they are all just molded plastic. There's no actual depth or detail to any of them. They made them as cheaply as they could. Looks like there may be a little bit of a wash going on in the grippy part of the communicator. And I want to say this thing actually has. Yeah, it has.
Fall back. Fall back. A great leap forward often requires first taking 2 steps back. A peacekeeper belongs on the front lines of conflict. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to do his job.
It's actually conveniently topical, given that there's given that it's the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ah. Yeah, I'm going there again soon. Very soon. Yes. Yeah, again, I'm going to be bringing it into this when I get done. Right? The day that I found that out, I was so happy. All right, that's enough of that for now. Let's go ahead and get busy on posing. We have, again, 3 rocks that need to go onto this display at some point. And those 3 rocks include these little guys right here. So I'm going to take... God, this sounds like a Phil Collins song. I'm going to go ahead and add one of these to it right now before I put the stand on, because I want one of the rocks to be, since there's a rock already here, I want to balance it out with a rock at like knee level to his right, your left, as we're doing it. So I'm going to drop one of these things down here right now, and hopefully it doesn't cause my tendon to tear any further than it already has. Man, it's because it's tight, which is good. Using my sternum. That's painful. Okay, let's not do that. Oh, God. For those of you just now joining me, I have torn a tendon or ligament in my left elbow, and certain motions involved in posing have become excruciating. So, if I cry, you'll know why. And it's not because I just signed a petition for divorce. Definitely not for that reason. This song sounds like something out of the Batman. Let's turn that up too. Just gonna back it up, start it over. Because this show was almost a Batman show. I have the Batman figure, not the exclusive version with the awesome base. I was only able to get the regular version without the awesome base. Not that I'm complaining because it was free. But I was going to pose that up. But I'm still waiting on a... When I got it, it was missing the portrait of Pattinson. What's this? Oh, I think I already brought this up, but... Oh, Laura Keeles has joined up and become a member of the Poser Posse. Thank you, Laura. Welcome back. Okay. There. Just show you that. Everything's off today. Thanks, BDP. Injuries suck. So yeah, there's going to be a rock off to the side there. I'll add that to it when I get the pose, but I just wanted to get that in place first. So you have to think about these things before you actually start the process. Fortunately, I've given myself 2 hours to think about this stuff before actually doing any of it. So let's go ahead and add this. Oh, I need a screwdriver. Did it come with one? I might have to raid the studio and get a screwdriver. Doesn't this sound like the Batman soundtrack? Oh, he does have the robe. Oh God, see, now I'm torn because I kind of want him. I could do a headcanon thing and have Obi-Wan wearing his robe. In my headcanon, in that battle between Obi-Wan and Vader, Obi-Wan was wearing the robe. Don't need that. Yeah, I don't have a screwdriver out here. I'm gonna have to go get one. I'll be right back. Don't you move. Yay! Fuck. That's all I need to do is fall over backwards and add concussion to my list of injuries. Alright, looks like it's going to be there. So if that's there... Yeah, let's add one more of these. Below the stand. This track has a Mandalorian vibe. Get out. Not in my live stream, motherfucker. Yeah, that stand is going to be resting on that on there a lot higher than I actually thought. So I'm going to move these back here. And now that I've done that, I don't actually need the screwdriver because, voila. It needs to come up some, but. So for those of you who don't want to use or don't own a screwdriver, all you got to do is put one of your rock pegs up about that high and let that slide down, and then you can maneuver it right or left. Eventually I'm going to tighten it anyway because it's my house, and it will find a way to fall down. Okay, so make sure all the plastic is off. Oh, there is a holster for that pistol. Damn it. Okay. Fine. Allergies suck, dudes. Okay, can we have a poll? We can't do official polls, but we can do polls in the chats. Sounding off right now, all 30 people who are in the chats, if you're so inclined to answer this question. My hair started growing long during COVID because of lockdown. And around that time, two things happened. One, my wife expressed a great deal of disdain for hairy Terry. And two, we made the decision to split. And not that I was bitter, but I kept the long hair, at least in part because I knew how much she hated it. And I've been telling people all along that when I finally signed the divorce papers, that I would cut my hair off and donate it to charity, so that some middle-aged to old woman, probably, with cancer, undergoing cancer treatments, and in need of a wig, can have a long white-haired wig, or they can make several short white-haired wigs out of it. But I've had a lot of people, and by that I mean like 2 or 3, who've been like, "Do you really?" Now, see, this comment didn't need to be made because I knew his opinion on the matter because he's very vocal about it. So the question becomes, and by the way, this will happen. Yeah, I had one right out of the box do that. It wasn't mine. It was one of Sideshow's. And I had to swap it out with another, with one from my figures. And then, of course, I sent it back. You can see what I'm doing. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here because of the I'm not actually wasting time here. I'm legitimately pulling down Obi-Wan's pants. When it came out of the box, everything was pulled up, like to the extent that it, yeah, oh my God, yeah, that made all the difference. So I'm just kind of gradually working the fabric down here to make it look like it's falling naturally over the top of the boots a little bit, because as it was just all straight up and down. But it wasn't falling naturally. So I'm just kind of gradually, it's almost like massaging it. Not to get too weird, but just trying to get those pants to look like they actually belong, like they're real. Kind of blend in. See, you can see how the fabric around the boots is. By doing this, I'm actually bringing those wrinkles down, so that rather than having an abrupt shift, it kind of fades gently into those multiple wrinkles and the wraps in the boots. Apparently it's important. I'm telling Paul. Yes, you should. It's definitely gotten weird. Yes. Free clean cut Terry. Nice. Oh, dude, there are photos of me with that mullet. I've had most of them destroyed, but back when I was determined to erase it from history. But I've subsequently found 1 or 2 photos of me with a raging mullet. That's actually kind of where I'm lying right now. Well, what if I were to become like a hair grower on the regular? Cut it off, start fresh, grow more hair, donate that, cut it off again, donate it, start fresh. Ooh, yeah, that's exactly it. I'm not one who needs to look for a deeper meaning in anything, but... Oh, that's right! That's a bummer. One of the things I'd forgotten about with this figure is the hard sculpted boots. That is annoying as hell. I forgot all about that. And I'm trying to figure out why they would do that. Because they have the technology to do soft sculpted boots. And this is a DX. So what this does is it kind of makes it really hard to do this pose. There we go. Thank you. Because you can't have his foot looking natural. Yeah, Laura, no ankle articulation. Farts. Bollocks. Bugger. Okay, well, we'll do it anyway. If nothing else, this can be an education for everybody, including myself, on exactly how far you can push such a posture. There you go, see? I mean, it's sold out anyway, so those of us who... And this wouldn't... If I had canceled this for that reason, it wouldn't be the first time that I'd canceled a figure for that reason. And it's possible, I mean, it's not like they don't test different things before making the decision to go hard sculpted. So it's possible that, you know, there's a sliding scale of compatibility there, but you can have even if they had found a material that replicated the look of Obi-Wan's boots to their standards, their specifications, maybe that was it. Maybe they just couldn't find one. Maybe they just couldn't find a material that looked like Obi-Wan's boots. Maybe that material or the dye that they needed to make it reach that color, maybe that leaked or stained or something like that. Maybe it never fully dried. I don't know. Yeah, but that's a black boot. Again, that could be a I'm sorry, Tony. But that's a black boot. So maybe the and I think it's a plasticky kind of boot, right? I don't know. It's not like I have two of them or anything. But you know, getting like different dye colors react to different materials in different ways. So if you get a material similar to the one that they use for the black boots on the Scout Troopers, it's possible they couldn't achieve that color with it, or that texture with it. And so it seems to me maybe that the only rational explanation for any of this is that the best way that they could get this in an affordable manner and keep the figure affordable is to do it hard sculpted, which is unfortunate. And that's the trick that I notice with a lot of these figures, is that you have to make they have to make choices. And those choices aren't just on how good the figure is going to look, but also on, you know, how affordable it's going to be for the rest of us. Hot Toys has already shown us recently that they are capable of making a better quality figure. They've really upped their game lately. But I'm looking at you, Artisan Anakin. But not literally. I don't have that here. I don't know when it's shipping. Just to be clear. And if I did have it here, I would lie to you. But yeah, it's. And you can see the difference in the prices of the artisan figures. Yeah, quality can be achieved, but it costs money, and that cost has to be passed on to consumers, and fewer consumers are going to be likely to pay $500 for a figure than they are to pay $300 for a figure. Nope. It's legitimately not here. I have one, maybe two figures. I think I have two figures here. One is the 3-0 figure from Chainsaw Man that they want me to do a posing video of. And the other is, it was just dropped last week. And the video's done. It's just, I didn't send it to them because I want to refine it. It's, everything's changed. The way that the posing shorts are being done is changing. The way that first looks are being done is definitely changing. You know, I think that you'll see the first one of those next week. But the first looks are going to be shorter and vertical format for TikTok and for YouTube Shorts and for Facebook and Instagram Reels. And that's actually how I injured my elbow, was working on that new look. But so that's it. That's all that's here right now is the Spider-Punk figure and the Aki Kurosawa, I think his name is, figure from Chainsaw Man. I think they're waiting to send me stuff until later. Anyway, let's pose this action figure, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to make an adjustment. I was going to do the Obi-Wan on guard pose, but with Vader being in the position that he's in, if I'm going to pose them up together, I don't think that'll work. So having made the decision to use the powered lightsaber hilt and this thing, and where is Scheisse? There we go. This video just went PG-13 in Germany. All right, so you got to take everything off. So you got to undo the belt. Then you got to undo the cummerbund, and it's all Velcro. Does that attach at the front? No, it doesn't. So we got to drop that down. And I'm always very careful when I take off a cummerbund, because I'm never 100% sure that there's a proper way up and a proper way down. But when I'm taking it off and working with it, I always leave it upright like this as I'm pulling it off, and then I just lay it flat in front of me, so that when I'm looking at it, this seems obvious to most people, I'm sure, but there's probably somebody out there who hasn't thought of it. I leave it off with the top part of the cummerbund facing away from me. So then I can just bring it back, just put it back on him when the time comes. All right, so can't hide this. Lifting up the tabards, they're attached here by Velcro. Stripping of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Who knew that was going to happen today? And then again, you've got Velcro here on the tunic to open it up. Now, Hot Toys will show you how to go about doing this in the instructions. They have detailed instructions on this. I'm just going to go and plop this on here right now so I don't lose it. So, how does Terry do things with unwrap the plug like so from around the cord, draw it out like that. It's nice. It looks like a spring, right? Yeah, I don't like that. So grab it here, pinch it kind of tightly, but not so tightly that you break it, and then just pull it. You can see it unwind. And then do it again. Just do it 2-3 times until you've got a nice straight wire. And then they'll tell you to take this thing all the way off before putting it on. But I want to say that I was able to just take the lightsaber and shove it down his sleeve. And then use the blade to poke it through. But maybe I'm crazy. That might be another figure I'm thinking of. No, I think it's gonna go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And it's kind of slide it down the sleeve. Just work it. Work it. And also kind of trying to make sure you're keeping the wire on the underside of the arm so that it's hidden as much as possible. You're gonna see wire. Don't drive yourself crazy by trying to hide it. Now, one thing I screwed up here is I should have taken the arm. I should have replaced the hand first. Something fell. It's the tool. I found the tool again. Gone. So I'm going to do a two-handed grip. And re-aggravate my elbow injury in the process. I felt my butt vibrate, which means Sorensen's probably telling me something. Yeah, that does sound weird, doesn't it? Yeah, every time Mike says something to me, my butt vibrates. Okay. Awesome. Apologies for having to take the figure off screen, but for those of you just joining us, I have torn a tendon or ligament in my left elbow, and it makes it difficult for me to do certain motions, like what I just did. So, all right, my phone isn't even in my pocket, so it definitely wasn't Mike telling me something to do. My butt was just vibrating under its own power. Huh. My copy of Heroes in Crisis has shipped. Big Tom King fan, for those of you out there who read comics. Okay, so that's done. Let's swap the other one. Oh, wait. I'm trying to think it would be cooler to have him just like holding it down here. Oh yeah, I'm doing that, and I'll tell you why. There's a great moment in the first episode of the last story arc of Clone Wars. Old Friends Long Forgotten or something like that, I think is the name of it, where Commander Cody's forces are under attack by a bunch of flankers, and a shell has been launched from a cannon directly at Commander Cody, and at the very last second, Obi-Wan shows up and slices the shell in twain, cleaves it in twain, and you get this awesome hero pose where he's just sitting there like hunched over and with his knees bent, and the sword and the lightsaber almost parallel with the ground, and with smoke coming off of it. What a visual! And I kind of want to see what this figure will do. I kind of wanted to see what this figure will do with that. But now it occurs to me that it might be better just to be like he's just cut Vader's helmet in two. But he's got the one arm back like this with the lightsaber crossed over. You can't see my arm, but lightsaber crossed over here like that. And he's just like, "Urgh." That's a serious face. Yeah, I'm going to try that. So we're going to leave this gesturing hand on. And I'm going to move forward with the pose. Right hand goes at the top of the saber. I always have to remind myself which hand is first. There was a video that I did. I think it was the posing video of Mace Windu. Where I was trying, it was, the pose that I was hitting was meant to be one where directly after he slices off the head of Jango Fett. And he does that with a swing from right to left. He's right-handed. But when he's done with the swing, he finishes with his right arm back and the lightsaber in his left hand behind him like so. And I think that the narration that I used, oh, I see what happened. I dropped the belt. Yeah, there it is. The narration that I used was, Obi-Wan is right-handed, so you're going to want to put the left hand on right here. And I was trying to demonstrate that in a right-handed grip, the right hand is at the top of the saber's hilt and the left hand is at the bottom. But my tremendously intuitive sense of the English language failed me at that point for some reason. Yeah, you know, they maintained that look that was introduced to the character by the guys at Sideshow when they created the Mythos Obi-Wan figure. Which I know one of those guys personally. He's a great guy. I don't know. I don't want to claim to be his friend because I feel like that's presumptuous. But maybe I know we're friendly, and I like to consider him a friend. But he was thrilled about that, and I'm like, yeah, man, you should be, because that's really freaking cool. Joe Allard is his name. Check him out. He's a talented dude. He did a lot of great work for Sideshow back in the day. All right, so I've got this fed through. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's bring it around to the back, and now we can seal up this tunic and get busy on the posing part of this demonstration. Get busy on the posing part of this posing video after 2 hours. I'm gonna start whittling this down. Less chatter, more posing. Let you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll just sit here and do work. All right. Reattaching the tabards to the Velcro. Make sure the pleats are falling naturally before adding the belt back on, or the cummerbund back on. There we go, there we go, there we go. Good, good, good. Arms out to the side. Again, picking up the... Wait, let's get rid of that. Picking up the cummerbund as I placed it with the top facing away from me, bringing it back around and adding it back to the figure as it was. Get that down. You can see right there where that's supposed to go. And that should be right in the middle. Down, down, down. That's got an Ahsoka vibe to it. What is this? Might use that for a video. Find My Boy and Bring Him Home by Bonnie Grace. I've got a lot of stuff by Bonnie Grace on here. She's a really solid composer. I've used a lot of her music for videos that I did for Sideshow way back, years ago. All right, and add the belt. Buckle dead center of the cummerbund. I'm hurting. That's no good. There should be no visible Velcro when you're done. That'll do. Spent enough time on that. Adjust it. Adjust the tabards so that they're not... so that they're kind of nicely falling ever so slightly over the top of the belt. Now, if you look at Obi-Wan in the show, his robes are, his tabard and tunic are not nearly so tidy. They're just all very soft and very, very wrinkled up, very roughed up. I don't think there's any time in the show in which his robe looks brand spanking new like it does here. Will I weather this thing up? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. So yeah, I'm digging this. You can't see the wire. It's perfectly well hidden. Look at that. No wires visible until you spin it around and see it dropping out from below. But if you do this right, that won't be a problem. All right, let's pose him. All right. I'm wondering if I can use elements of the base to do this. Huh. Now this pose may fail completely just by the nature of these boots. So rotate. Bring this around and down. I love this because this is that track that reminds me of Thundercat. Twist that leg just a touch. Head around. Snatch. There's more than one way to learn the limits of articulation and range of motion. Bugger. Okay. I guess what I really need to know is, will this figure be able to do this pose? He jumped up, and then he came down like this, right? Slicing overhand right to left. I think so. I'm going to continue as if that's the way he did it. And if anybody knows differently, please feel free to let me know. I can already tell I'm not going to like this. I'm going to soldier on anyway. It may not even work because of the damn base. So futz with it. Son of a bitch. That base is going to help in a certain way. Spread that leg out a little bit because it just looks... a bit at a time. Twist it. Give it a little bend. Back some. Twist there. Okay, now I'm going to try to bring in... Ah! Okay, so here's the thing. What I'm finding out. I suspected there for the past couple minutes that this might be the case. But what I'm doing... He did left to right. Is that left to right on screen? God damn it. Okay, here we go. Disney. What's that go? I'm just going to bring it up, guys. I'm sorry. I just need to know. And I know that this live stream is already running long, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to do an edited version of this posing session and put it up there as just a video for everybody to watch so that nobody has to deal with my long-winded bullshit any more than they already have. Let's go ahead and turn the volume off so I don't get flagged. How do I do that? Apparently I can't. Let's see, just now showing up. There it is. Man, I almost went right to it. I was off by like exactly, let's see. I was off by like seconds. There's the rocks. I could do that pose, but my Vader's already defeated. Uh-oh. I went too far back. After getting it almost exactly right the first time. It's cooking. There we go. Here he goes. Here comes the charge. Oh, no, it was, you know what? Oh my God. I got this all wrong. He did it one-handed, yes. And he did slice from right to left, but he sliced right to left just like Mace Windu did, using his left hand. And afterwards, while he's staring him down, he's got his saber at the battle ready. Holy crap. Is Ewan McGregor left-handed? Ewan McGregor's left-handed, everyone. He's holding his lightsaber, left-hand dominant. Wow. All right, well, I'll do that again. I'll do that later. I'm not going to do it now because it's quarter after. So this is headcanon time again. Fuck. I'm only slightly irritated at that. Eye posing time. Touch more. How's that look? That is really annoying. All right. So he slices from right to left with his left hand because no, he's not right-handed. He's not left-handed. He was fighting with the... Yeah, his whole posture thing. Yeah, he's ambidextrous. Okay, great. Let's see how that looks. Yep, first try. So Ryan says he knew it was his left hand already. Yeah, I never really paid attention. I guess I didn't pay close enough attention when I saw it, when I was just watching it casually, because at no point while watching it was I thinking, okay, I gotta hit that pose. Do that down. Get that elbow right. Yeah, I'm happy with this, despite the fact that it is not at all screen accurate. And I think I've been pretty vocal about my whole take on that, in that, you know, screen accuracy is not my jam, but I get why other people enjoy it. So the head sculpt is amazing, and I'm really, really sad that I haven't really given it its due in this live stream. Go. Let's futz with that a little bit. And by that I do mean his costume. And again, I just want to weather the crap out of it. Yes, that's right. Yeah, from that. I just watched it. It's like he jumps up like this, bounces off the rock shelf, and as he's flying towards Vader, he just swipes it down and then lands like with it back like that. Is there? Can you hear it a lot? Anyway, back to this. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Now I'm looking at the situation with the rocks here, And I may need to make some more adjustments. Oh, that's going to look better. So what I've done here is, I'm just going to show you where this was on the rocks. This is where his feet were on the rocks. Okay? Fine. Looks good. But I was bothered by the fact that he was kind of on his toe back here on the back foot when I noticed that there's a very conveniently placed rock right here and another very conveniently placed rock right here. So rotate this around so that the heel of that foot is catching on that rock. That provides a little extra support. Bring this, part those legs a little bit more, and that puts his back foot right there on that rock. And it looks much more natural from that angle. Let's go ahead and twist his torso just a touch more. And lean it forward just a bit. And I'm going to have to correct the head and hope there's a range of motion in there that I can work with. There is. Now the real question is this going to look good from every angle? The real question is Terry ever going to finish this live stream? I just don't know. This might be a record. Oh, I got to put another thing on here. And that's... the nature of this pose is making it such that it's making the base, the stand lean forward a little more than I'd like, but oh well. Okay. Now the rocks being modular, do with them as you will. I'm going to put one here. And I don't care that this is a screen accurate. I'm just wanting to show off the figure and what it can do. Spin, spin, spin. Okay. I feel like I need to elevate that one a little more. Can I do it without snapping another tendon? My tendon, not his. Well, the answer to that is no. So, I'll do a lot of things for this live stream, but I'm not going to injure myself. Go ahead. Oh. How's that look? Feel like that hand colliding with that rock is less than desirable, so I'm going to raise that up a little bit more, even though it may not appear very natural. Rotation. And I want to just move him more this way. Since we're not screen accurate anyway, that frees me up to make some different adjustments just to provide balance to the overall look of the pose. Yeah, I really want to drop that rock. Bit at a time. Get in there. Making you nervous? Rotate that elbow. Will it rotate? Okay, yeah. It's just really super stiff. This is turning out better than I thought it would. Now here's the thing. I know I said I'm just going to do a headcanon sort of a thing here, but one of the complaints that I have about this pose is the way that I have Vader pose. You'll see it when I bring him into the shot. Is that he's having these things posed face to face. Their bodies are facing their bodies are both turned to the left. Oh wait, that's not correct. Vader's is turned to the right, so they're exposing their bodies, but the thing about the positioning of Vader's helmet is if you really want to get Anakin's eye in that shot, then you need to look at it from a totally different perspective than I have these things posed up for. Now, I'm looking at this and oops. There we go. it wasn't all the way down. I love it. Freaking love it. I'm happy. And I wish there was a way that I could zoom in on it, but there's not. I'm going to go grab a couple of USB-C cables, and I'll be right back. Okay. Now, as I was back there, I just had a thought that I really need to... I know I've said it many, many times in the past, but I really need to think about ways that I can shorten the stream if these pose sessions are going to be going this long, especially. But I think one of the ways that I can do that is by setting a timer and making sure that I don't go over a certain amount of time when I'm talking to you guys in comments. I do love our little chats, but I got one of the reasons why I took a break was that these live streams were taking too much time out of my weekend and things were being left undone. The worst part of this for me is trying to determine. Let's see. Oh, yep, that's backwards. Okay. There. Oh! Son of a biscuit. Anybody else running into trouble with these damn things? Oh, crap. This is not USB-C to USB-C. I'll have to run it somewhere other than where I planned. One sec. File this under things that I should have done before the show. Apologies for that dead air, guys, but hopefully it's worth it. Now watch, I'll have one of those that the light up function doesn't work for whatever reason. Rare, but it does happen. There we go. All right. Done and doneer. Let's turn this thing on. Fingers crossed. Yay! I like that a lot. This is a really great looking figure. I still don't think that it's all the way down there. I think that the sacrifices had to be made in order to achieve the proper angle of the head. So I don't think it's all the way on there. But it might be. I'll look more into it later. But yeah, I think that's everything, including angle of view. I gotta say, I'm really super proud of this one. It looks way cooler than I thought it would be at the beginning of the show, let alone how I thought it would look after I saw that the boots were hard sculpted. This is a great looking figure, y'all. Congratulations to everybody out there who got one of these. Oh, I'm seeing that the comments have been coming for a good 10 minutes, so it looks great so far. Thank you from BDP. Yeah, I'll work on that. Yeah, no snapping anything except for my, yeah. Yeah, it does, right? Yeah, and I mean, my goal was, I didn't achieve what I set out to do. What I set out to do was basically have the pose right after he's cloven Vader's helmet in twain. I'm just going to use that phrase all the time. I'm going to bring that phrase back. He clove it in twain. But I'm just looking at it here. I'm really enamored with it. I like it a lot. I mean, this was a happy accident. Everything it didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. This is not how he looks in the show after slicing Vader's helmet off, but he doesn't have to. And I'm super happy with everything about it. The eyes are on point, as far as I can tell. And I don't know, maybe this is one where, again, since it's not screen accurate. Since it's not screen accurate, maybe I do go ahead and bring in his cloak, because it's a fabulous cloak and a fantastic look, and I would welcome that. Okay, so as promised, let's go ahead and bring in Vader and plug Vader in, because while I've got my Vader in there with this electronics on, I don't think I've ever actually turned them on. Oh yeah, I did, for video. Right? Oh, no, for a test. I was doing a test shot for the new look for first looks. Okay. Now I don't have a long enough... I don't have a third USB-C cable. Now back to the sports. Screw you, man. I don't have a long enough USB-C cable to use with this stand, because this stand is also light up. Yeah, it's not going to look right because of the table. Let's try bringing in the corners and do it in a catty corner. Maybe that will help. Okay. Where's the other one? Keep trying to fall over, and I so far have not done so, but there we go. Why not? Carefully. And there it is. Yeah, man, it looks really good. And, for a show that I mean, I know that there were a lot of verbal haters of the show. My understanding of it is that that vocal hate was not reflected in the viewership. It was actually a hit. It was actually a massive success. So I'm really happy that Hot Toys really bent over backwards to do these characters justice. And because let's face it, their friendship turned rivalry is such an epic. It's legendary. It's mythic, and beautiful. It's a heartbreaking story that really stands up there with the greatest of the classical mythology, and that's what I love so much about Star Wars, and is that even today they continue to bring things to the table that achieve that, for a variety of reasons. I mean, I know that there's been a lot of debate regarding The Mandalorian, for instance, and how it shifted from that nice, simple Western vibe of the first season to something that was definitely much more bigger in scale for the third season. But I dig that. I'm so on board for that, because I've always been a fan of the Sergio Leone Dollars trilogy. And that's exactly what you got with those three films. You got something that was very basic, very street level with the first film, and then by the time you get done with The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, by the time you walk into the theater and see The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, it's clearly much more epic in scope. so I feel like when I saw The Mandalorian season 3, I saw the Dollars trilogy reflected in that. Which, yeah, God, I'm just looking at Obi-Wan looking right at Vader like, yeah, I did that. That was me. You know, what you got? Oh, this might be the best paired figures pose that I've ever done. At least I'm definitely happy with it. Hey Brian, what's up, dude? Yeah, I'm not gonna cry, but I'm really emotional about this. My plan has always been to keep Vader in this pose by himself on a shelf, but I'm gonna have to figure out something else, man. This is gonna have to go into the studio, and it's gonna have to have a permanent place on the studio shelves, permanently plugged into a power supply, so that I'm always seeing it like this. Because those two lightsabers, especially the way that they're positioned, it almost makes its own statement, doesn't it? Neither one has his lightsaber lifted at the ready. It's almost like there's like a subtle reluctance on the part of each to really engage with his opponent, which you would expect. Like, even, I mean, it took Anakin a long time to come back around, and he was clearly still angry in the Kenobi series. Oh, I wish you guys could see this, but maybe you can. Let's just spin it. Take off Brian's awesome comment. But yeah, just being able to see Obi-Wan his look at Vader. I mean, the expression. Yeah, do you guys know how hard that has to be to achieve? To get an expression on a portrait that is such that, and then give that portrait posable eyes, and have that expression exist in such a way that no matter which way the eyes are looking, that expression is going to complement the direction in which the character is looking. That's got to be hard to do. I mean, they did it very well with, say, Jack Sparrow. That's another one that comes to mind. I was noticing, I think that's the first time that I noticed, like, no matter where you direct these eyes, that is the Jack Sparrow look. I know that it's been a long stream. Like, I'm 33 minutes over what my ideal. And look at how, when you look at it from that angle, the blades are actually crossed. Of course, that illusion fades as soon as you spin it. And I'm thinking that I've got Vader looking right at him. Yep. That baleful eye. Single eye just coming at you from below from beneath the eyebrows. Oh man. By the way, that chest plate is not powered. There's a different chest plate that comes with it that would light up. I don't have the box up here. But for that scene, Obi-Wan also went through the helmet, but he also went through that chest plate. Or maybe that happened earlier. Yeah, he bashed the shit out of it, didn't he? Yeah, that's right. I don't want this stream to end just because I'm really happy with this. I feel like once I hit stop, then it ends. Yeah, I know I get it that the pose is going to exist, but man. And again, I'm just frustrated. But this kind of works. Because while you look at it from this angle, which is the angle that this would have to be displayed because of the position of the torsos, you really want to get, you don't want to be looking at their backs when you have it on display. And again, the downside of it is that you don't immediately have access to that split portion of the helmet with Anakin's face beneath it. But that's kind of the appeal, right? Because especially now, I'm excited till any time that I get to walk into a room and see the displays that I've created. But when somebody walks in who's either A, never seen it before, or B, has seen it before but is just as excited about it as I am, there's like an Easter egg in this now. Because let's say you walk in and you've never seen these figures before in your life, but you're familiar with Obi-Wan the series. And you walk in and you see these guys facing off like this in these two battle-ready poses where they're both just kind of exhausted. And then you walk in and you look closely and you're just like, oh my God, Vader's helmet is, oh my God, that eye is amazing. That's exactly my experience right now with this. Oh. I do still feel like I could lift Obi-Wan's head some more so that he's looking. I just don't want to pop it off because that neck is not posable. That is a sculpted I think that is a sculpted neck. I don't think it moves. Yeah, it is a sculpted neck. And it's legitimately as high as it will go. And he's not quite looking at, he's not quite looking Anakin in the eye. Yeah, maybe. That is a good idea, actually, because I was looking at that the other day, last week when I did the return, what do you want to call it, the comeback stream. But I don't like, one thing I like about the banner, the group banner photo, is the different colors. The color variation in every character that I've got up there. And I know that they're all premium format figures, but that's how I was shooting my premium formats at the time. And I just like the look of all the colors. But you can do this now that we have all these different light up features. So what I foresee is maybe, yeah, doing a different banner pick, but using different Jedi, different Sith with different colored lightsabers. Ahsoka has her white. You're bound to have some character at some point that has a golden lightsaber. Do we already? Rey. Rey's got a gold lightsaber. But I've got her in a pretty cool pose now. I don't know, we'll see. All right, guys, it is way past my bedtime, so to speak. And I would love to go back and see what everybody's comments were on this, but we just don't have the time, and I've got stuff to do. I've got a dog to walk. And I really want to refine this video for Sideshow. So be on the lookout next week for the Iron Man Mark 6 quarter scale first look. It will be the first look in a vertical format. And I took some time and tweaked my my skills a little bit, learned some new skills with video editing, which is still foreign to me. Learning as I go, learning on my own, no training, and also a new video for a new format for posing videos. Less educational, more about a quantity of poses in one, and squeezing in as many poses as possible into one video. So we'll see how that works. Thank you, Big Dog Pound. Yeah, man, it's really, really good. I love those opposable eyes. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching today. I know that it went long, and I apologize for that. Oh, look at that. It's 11:38. Perfect time to end the stream. You all take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend. Have a great week next week. And until next time, be good to your plastic.